What's up, guys? It's the weekend, which means it's my time to upload a video. So, I've done got a good uploading schedule, but I'm not trying to waste your time. So, what I want to tell you about today is basically just remind you that at any point in time in your life, everything you have can be taken away from you. And the problems you think you have probably aren't really problems. So, let me give you an example of something that happened today. Um, and this is just something that just kind of came to me. I was like, I feel like I should just tell you guys about this. Like, I feel like things happen for a reason. Hopefully, I can turn this into a lesson for you guys. But anyways, my dog, he has anxiety, and he always hangs out in my room and sleeps on his blanket, and that tends to calm him down. So today we're watching John Wick 4, believe it or not, and alright movie. But anyways, he had anxiety, and if he sees an animal on TV, he freaks out. See, he saw horses, and he freaked out, and sent him to my room and turn off the lights so it's nice and dark and quiet, and he just kind of, normally he calms down. Now, he did not. And while we were downstairs watching a movie, he came up, he was in my room, he turned to my bed, threw my stuff around. But I had a window open, and I had a screen, there's a screen in my window. And he somehow stood on the bed with his paws on the window, with the window open, had his head in between the curtains, and chewed a massive dog-sized hole in the screen. And again, this sounded like the second story in whatever in my house. And you know, he chewed a hole through it. Now, he also freaked out. And he was just stressed. He just stressed out. Normally this helps, but no, just being in a quiet room with his blankie helps, but it did not help today. And well, when the movie was over, we checked on him, and he peed on my bed. He threw my stuff around. And initially, I was pretty angry. That I didn't yell at him or nothing, because initially I was pretty pissed off because he peed on my bed, and he clearly threw all my stuff around. And that was before I found out he chewed a big thing in the window. Initially, I'm thinking thoughts like, man, this freaking dog, I'm trying to swear, but swine about this and that. Like, should we even thinking bad thoughts because he does have a tendency to break things. The pit bull, he's got really really high energy, and he likes to destroy things. He chews on the drywall in our house. Like, he chases shadows. He got super high anxiety, and we gotta get him neutered to fix that. But initially I was so upset. I'm like thinking thoughts like, man, can you even really take care of this dog? This dog is always breaking something. We all love him, but he's always breaking something. And today I'm just thinking about taking a leak or whatever on my bed, and I'm like, dang, this friggin' dog, man. And my dad, tried to make it better, like, hey, well, we got more blankets downstairs. It's actually pretty late, and we got more blankets, and you just use one of them. And I'm like, well, this and that, and you know, I was upset, and my dad wasn't very happy because I didn't handle it very well. I have a lot of room to grow, clearly. And I Jack's outside, cleaned my bed, took the sheets, everything off, laundry, did all that, folded my clothes, and um, plus my window was still open from earlier today, and I opened it periodically to let fresh air in. Um, and found out he chewed a big hole in it. Now, this immediately hit me as like he could have just climbed out and because he has anxiety, try to escape the room or go check out the dog across the street that's always barking or whatever. He would have fallen and died. If he didn't die, he would have been in horrible pain. We would have had to put him down. Um, and I guess the moral of the story is that I made a big deal over something like I could just throw my blankets in the wash, but that's not even really a big deal. Like it's an inconvenience, and like someone I loved could have lost their life. I know that sounds dumb, it's a dog, but it's just like it was more than that too. Just because it was kind of the whole situation I unraveled today, and I was sitting there folding laundry, thinking about how I pissed off my dad because I didn't handle that very well of me having to clean pee off my bed and stuff, and um, I was thinking about folding laundry. I was like, man, my dog could have died. I mean, imagine if, I haven't seen my dad in 10, 20 minutes. I mean, I'm not a paranoid weirdo who thinks that everybody's going to die if I'm not around to watch them. But In all honesty, my dad, who knows, my dad could have had a heart attack and was working on something in the garage or whatever. It's like I would be on the other side of the house on another story level. I wouldn't even know. So it's like, I'm gonna go apologize. I'm gonna go apologize now. It's gonna be hard. I'm gonna feel like an idiot. I'm gonna have to admit to being an idiot, and I did. And it's like I could wait and whatever. Imagine if my dad died while I was on a bad note about something that wasn't even a big deal. It was an inconvenience to me. Imagine if my dad died and the last thing we talked about was me being upset because my dog peed in my bed. Now I had to do my laundry again. It's like, okay, just put it in the, you don't even have to wash it. I just put it in a washing machine, press a button, come back when it's done, put it in another machine, press the button, come back when it's done. I don't have to sit there and wash it and tie a rope in two trees and then pin the clothes on like a rope. I don't got to do that. Imagine if, I don't know, even if something like a house burned down, like maybe that's a big stretch, but it's like there's so many worse things that could happen. A minor inconvenience, and I was gonna let it control me again because you don't actually make yourself. Nothing can make you angry or upset. It's all about whether or not you choose to let that emotion manifest itself into reality through your actions. Now, those emotions, they move in your body. You feel it in your body. You physically feel anger. You know, it moves sometimes in your stomach. I don't know. Like when you're nervous and you feel like butterflies in your stomach, right? Um, or lust if you're a dude, you feel it downstairs, you know. And, you know, whatever. I mean, yeah, it's not a very good example, but sorry if I pace around a lot. I need to trip with my dog a little bit. I pace around a lot because I notice I'm better at camera if I just kind of move around if I'm not sitting still. But sorry. Where was I going with this? I kind of lost track. Sorry. But guess what? The point I'm trying to make is that I didn't actually have a problem, but I let it. I let myself get angry because it was easier than just being like, okay. It's easier, like kind of like a little kid, like they throw a tantrum because of something really tiny. Adults kind of do that too in a way, and I clearly do. I'm 20, I'm an adult, but like I have a lot of room to grow. Don't get me wrong, but um, it's all about whether or not you allow it to control you, and it's all whether or not it's based on whether or not you choose to manifest that. The motion's there. You can let it float down the river of ideas in your mind and never manifest. I mean, it's whatever. It's a movement in your body. It's an emotion is. I truly believe that because that's what LA talks about. LA dolls, but um, it's your choice to manifest that into reality. And 1 second of anger robs you from a second of happiness, and you don't get time back. A second wasted is literally a tragedy. Truly, and I know it sounds retarded, but it truly is because you only get a certain number of seconds. And every single one wasted is one you won't get back. You won't get a refund on it. And you're going to have to watch a replay of your life when God judges you, and you're going to see every wasted time, every wasted second, every time you spent being angry when you could have been happy, or being nice to someone, spreading positivity. Instead, you chose to use that for negativity. Don't get me wrong, we all make mistakes and blah, blah, blah. And sometimes, and it is righteous anger. And sometimes anger is I don't want to say righteous, but it is a correct way to respond to something. Anger isn't always bad. Anger, hate, these emotions can be incredibly powerful if you channel them correctly. If you hate evil, if you hate being fat, you won't be fat. Like, if you like anything, like me, I hated being fat. That's why I really, really, really don't want to get fat, and I really, really want to triple down and make sure I'm eating right, training right, doing things right. These things can lead you in good areas of your life if you channel them correctly, but if you just let your emotions rule over you and be a slave rather than be the master over yourself, you're not really going to get very far in life. You're not going to be very happy, and you're going to be wasting a lot of time you won't get back. Like, but anyways, I think my story I left off earlier that I never finished was like, my dad. Anyways, my dad. I mean, I wasn't being very nice to him, but because I was just upset and I was a little snappy, like, oh, this and that, and dog peeing on my bed. Um, and I was full my laundry. He's like, my dad could die any minute now. Truly. How do I know that by the time I reach the bottom of the stairs, he won't have a heart attack? How do I know that I won't have a heart attack? Media's not going to come down and destroy this house, man. I don't know, man. How do I know? I literally don't. Why would I waste any time being upset, let alone potentially have one of our lives end on a bad note? That's something, over something stupid, doing my blankets again in a wash. Okay, I put it in the machine and press a button and I walk away. It's not that big. Like when you really think about it, it's not that big of a deal. Now, it probably sounds retarded to you guys, but and it is. You get angry over something so trivial, but truly, I think that's a lot more common. I don't think it's just me, and if it is, that's actually good news because that means you people aren't wasting your time. Hopefully, not being angry. Hopefully, not wasting your time being angry is what I'm trying to say. But I have a strong feeling that a lot of people do hold grudges. Life is too short to hold grudges, you guys. But I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is that any moment in time, anything can be taken away from you. And if it's in terms of physical things, vanity, stuff like that. And I like to have nice things, and Bunny really wants to have nice things, but all of those things, one, they're on loan because you can't keep them forever. You're gonna die. But two, they come from God, not from anyone else. It's God allows us to have stuff in life, and we gotta be grateful for every amount of it, and for the time that we have it, even if it's 5 seconds or 5 years or 5 decades. Um, you gotta be appreciative of that because it's not yours, and you're not gonna keep it. So for the time that you do get to enjoy it and appreciate that you are allowed to have it for that set of time, whatever that may be, even if it's just a day. Um, but at the end of the day, I think the only thing that you really can have is your health, and obviously your body's the only house you'll actually ever live in, um, until you die. Then you're not gonna live in it anymore. But all you're on earth, the only mode of transportation and house that you truly have is your body. But I truly think the only thing you really have is the connections that you with family and friends and your body, your health, whatever you want to call it. And honestly, if my house was to burn down today, lose every possession I got, every fancy book I got, or every, and I have copies of the Bible that I like to read and collect and stuff. I have a guitar. I mean, I'm not very good at it, but I got a guitar. I got uh, gifts, candles. I got like various things. Just look at my room. I got like a gigantic bin full of family photos from going back from the 60s, like pictures of my dad, my grandma, grandfather, and this and that. I got like nice boots, nice clothes. I'm not a rich guy, but I mean, like, our family is pretty blessed to have what we have, don't get me wrong, but I mean, like, I got decent stuff. If I lost all of it, it shouldn't matter. I shouldn't even be upset that I lost all of it if I still got my health and I still got my family. I still got my little, my sisters, my dad, brother, whatever, cat, dog. Hopefully, you have both of my cat, my dog. I love them both, but if I still have the people, even if that's all, even if I'm sick afterwards and I don't have my health, but I still have the people, that's really all that matters. And I'll go one step further and I'll say if they're saved, like we're a Christian family, but if we're saved and one of us were to, lose our life, at the end of the day, that person's with God, and we'll be reunited with them. But they're also not suffering in this world anymore. I know it sounds very bleak. I don't want to go to that place in this video, but what I'm trying to say is that nothing in this world truly matters in a way or as much as we think it does. At the end of the day, all that really matters is our relationship with God. I believe that there's things that matter on a smaller scale too, like our relationships with other people and our health and stuff too, but truly all that matters is our relationship with God. And if you have that insurance that no matter what happens to you while your body is alive and breathing, that no matter what happens to you, you'll go to heaven afterwards, and you literally have nothing to worry about. The worst thing that can happen to you is you can be sent to God in paradise right now. And that's also the best thing that can happen to you. I mean, like, the worst thing that can happen is your body dies in a not so good way, and you go to heaven, which is the best thing that can happen to you. Heaven, that is. Dying, dying a horrible death is the worst thing that can happen. I know it sounds, I'm not trying to go in that place, but anyways, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to waste your time. Although I'm not wasting your time, I'm trying to give you value in every video. But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say. Is that anything can be taken from you at any time. Appreciate those, but more so than that, appreciate the people that are around you. Because they won't be around you forever either. Everybody has a certain time that they're born, a certain time that they die, and a little in between where they get to interact and be able to do whatever and have time to repent of their sins and come to Jesus before they die, so that way they can be saved. And if you got that figured out, then you got everything figured out and nothing else matters, even if you croak, because you got that insurance. And I know it's not the way to look at it. You shouldn't look at it like it's like a business with insurance or, taking out life insurance. And that's a good analogy, but it's more than that. It's bigger than that. I don't want to overshadow that or what's the word, under exaggerate. I don't know what the right way to put that would be. It's more important than life insurance. It's more important than anything. Your relationship with God. Because real quick, I'm going on to a different topic now, but you're gonna live forever. Every human being lives forever. We all have a beginning. We don't live forever in the sense that we existed forever and then we'll exist forever afterwards. Or I don't know how to put that. We have a start and then we never have an end. You're born, you come into the world, you're conscious, your consciousness doesn't get destroyed. And no matter what happens to your body, now there's two destinations you go to, heaven or hell. It's entirely your choice which one you go to. God does not send anyone to hell, and God has never sent anyone to hell. Every human being makes the decisions, and they fall into whatever category they choose to fall in based on the actions that they take. And whether that be good or bad, there's good people that go to hell. Because there's only two types of people that go to heaven: perfect people and forgiven people. If you're not perfect, you're not going to heaven unless you're forgiven. Which means you gotta ask for forgiveness and for salvation and have Jesus come into your heart. Which my little sister did this weekend. And I've been praying for her. I'm glad she did that. If you haven't done that already, take the time to kneel on the ground right now, wherever you are. Or, you don't have to really get comfortable. But you can. Get on your knees, just sit right where you are, and just close your eyes and say, Jesus, I'm a dirty, rotten sinner, but I believe you died for me. You died on the cross for my sins. I ask you to come into my heart and change my life. In Jesus' holy name I pray, amen. That's all I gotta do. Confess with your mouth that you are a sinner, that you need a Savior, and then believe in your heart that He died for you. That's all you need to do. And you gotta live a life of repentance too, which means turn away from your sins, to turn around, turn away from your sins. That's easier said than done. Far easier said than done. And you will make mistakes. In the same way, someone who, think of it this way. Imagine that God is like, and I don't want to underplay God, but let's imagine forgiveness is like a car wash. Your car, you try to keep your car clean as possible, but no matter what, something on the wind, something here will blow something on your car. You'll drive into accidentally hit a puddle. You're gonna hit a pothole. You're gonna get dirt on the tires. And, just maybe by nature of the tread will kick up some dirt on your fenders. So you always end up coming back to the same car wash and getting your car washed again, no matter how hard you try to keep it clean. And it's good to do your best, but in the end, you gotta end up having that car washed again. Now, that's kind of what being a Christian, being a person is. You're gonna make mistakes. You're not perfect, but you gotta try your best to be good, to be the best. You gotta try your best to be the best, which in this case happens to be perfection, which is an impossible task. But by reaching for perfection, we reach excellence, and that's what God asks for us, is to do our best. And everybody has a different capacity and stronger willpower or circumstances, whatever the case might be. I wouldn't make excuses. Anybody can do anything. And there's no reason why you can't be sin-free like Jesus. It's all a choice. But once you made that one bad choice, you're forever imperfect. Now that sounds bleak, but the good news is that you can still go to heaven. Just ask for forgiveness and do your best to be good. That's all there is to it. Confess with your mouth, believe in your heart, and do your best. Obviously, you gotta try to grow as a Christian and whatnot too. Definitely read the Bible. Definitely get plugged into a local church. Be careful, because a lot of churches are scammers. I don't say scammers, but they're like, my local area, they got ones that are for gays and stuff, and they say it's totally okay to be gay and this and that. And on the outside in, from a worldly perspective, it'd be like, well, yeah, it's just a preference, just this, just that, just a lifestyle. But as a Christian, you realize, because a lot of people probably think Christians hate gays, and there are some. I guarantee you, there are some that hate them because of what they are. But I look at people like that, and I feel bad for them, because what they're doing, they're reaping, they're sowing seeds of destruction, and eventually you have to reap what they harvest. Now, if being gay wasn't a sin and it wouldn't send you to hell, great. Okay, that's strange, not for me, but okay. But the fact of the matter is that it is something that will send you to hell. There's no room in heaven. That's made it very clear. There's no room in heaven, people that is for sexually immoral and various other things. It's like if you're gay, if you're in the that deep into the trenches, please say I know how to put it, that far deep in sin, there's literally no room for God in your heart. There's no room for salvation in your heart if it's that full of evil. I'm not trying to be mean, but that is the fact of the matter. And these are offensive but true facts. And it applies to a lot of other stuff in life too, But I'd say read the Bible. Definitely start with the New Testament 110%. Most important part of the Bible. I mean, obviously read Genesis. There's a lot of beautiful stories in the Bible about creation, humanity, and explanations for why things are the way they are. And find a lot of answers for life in the Old Testament, but the most important is the New Testament. I truly believe that because that's where salvation is from. It's from the life and the story of Jesus and the testimonies of those who were with him. That's what's important. But anyways, I'm not trying to waste your time. I want to give you value. I don't want to make this video so long that it's no longer useful. So with that being said, I ranted on various topics, and I hope that has helped you in some way. Kind of condense my knowledge into these videos so I can learn and then give them back. Give back what I've learned, to give you the bullet points, the most important stuff. What I'm, what I've learned, what I'm able to implement in my life. Whatever I give you, I want it to be life changing. I don't want to just give you little random advices and stuff. But, well, thanks for watching. Have a good night wherever you are. Stay safe. Repent, follow Jesus. Turn away from modernity. Embrace Christianity. Not as organized religion, but as a relationship with God and Jesus, your Savior. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good night.